Today's video is going to be about things that I do to become more beautiful and magnetic and just more open to what I desire in this reality. If you've seen me in high school, y'all, I used to literally walk around with my head down. It was just a very dark, depressing time for me. If I did not do the inner work that I did, and continue to do, I would not be glowing and radiating from the inside and being so open to the world. Just know that we are literally like a sim. We're literally like a character in a video game. Okay, we can change our appearance. We can change anything, baby. We are limitless. Like, anything is possible, literally. And yes, also just a little disclaimer, if you see me looking down, girl, I have some notes here because I have a crazy brain and it's hard for me to remember things off the top of my head sometimes. That's a limiting belief. Okay, not gonna believe that, but I said it, but I'm taking it back. Okay, but at the same time, I know me. Numero uno, y'all, is inner work. We want to tackle our inner self before we start to play and mess around with the external, because let me tell you, what is going on in the inner is always going to reflect on the outer. So in our inner work, one of the main points that we want to focus on is having open and receiving energy. Now you may say, oh my gosh, like what the heck does that mean? Again, whether we realize it or not, the way we feel in the inner is reflecting on the outer. Because I remember specifically at that time in my life, what I identified with was shyness and darkness. And therefore, it reflected in my life. So that's the vibe I was giving. I'm going to literally see if I can show you guys a video of me from high school. And you can just look at me and tell, like, I was very unhappy and very insecure about myself. And you could tell it reflected in the outer. I walked around with my head down, like the way I carried myself was very closed off. I did not want to be around people. So something that I did was I began to shift and change my energy. I began to walk around with my head up, okay? I fixed my posture. I walked around intentionally. I walked around with the energy of, I'm gonna be open now. I'm gonna allow people to come up to me. I want to be approachable. I want to seem like I'm full of light. So physically and energetically, I made sure that I seemed very open, and reality reflected. People used to come up to me all the time and want to talk to me, despite me even still being shy. Like, I was still very shy and I didn't really talk much, but try not to be so closed off, especially if you want miracles and fun things to happen. I have gotten so many free things in life just for being open, and not only free things, but I have also gotten princess treatment, VIP treatment, like literally been invited on stage and all these other things. Like, crazy opportunities have opened up for me just for having intentional, open, receiving energy. 2 is spiritual protection plus boundaries. Baby, let's talk about boundaries, because it took me 20 years, maybe 21 years even now, to learn about boundaries. It's a lifelong process. It's a lifelong thing, just like a lot of things in life. Being magnetic does not mean that you are available to everyone. Make sure to be open, but protect yourself, okay? Don't be too open, because there's still some darkness in this world that will try to conquer your light, especially a lot of jealous people and just icky stuff. But don't let that stop your shine, honey, okay? Build your discernment and have discernment, because there is evil out there in the world. I'm not gonna tell you, oh my gosh, be all holly jolly and love everybody and say hey to everybody. Like, yeah, that's good, but please have discernment, because that is how bad opportunities can open as well. Coming from that, it's life. There's the good and a bad to everything. Be open, but guarded just a little. Me personally, I know I'm very intentional about what energy I allow to access me and be available to me. Realize that your energy is currency and your energy is expensive, and hold yourself to that standard, okay? Because it is. Why do you think people are coming up to you wanting your energy? Why do you think people are talking to you? Because they want to see what you have to offer. They want to see and get a feel and a taste of your energy. So just walk around knowing that your energy is your currency at its richest form. Do be careful if you want to become, magnetic and light and things of that sort, because if you're magnetic, you're going to be attracting a lot. Okay, I have attracted a lot of ickiness in my life, and I continue to, and I know that it will always happen, but thank God I have discernment now. I have protectors, and girl, I just stay home for the most part. Okay, this kind of goes in with the first thing I was saying about the inner work. It's all about self-image, okay? How do you feel about yourself? I really want you guys to either sit in the mirror or take out your journal and write down, like, how do I really feel about myself? How do I really see myself? And how is that reflecting into my reality? You know, you have to be very honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, baby, the world is going to reflect that to you. Because again, we are mirrors, okay? Everything that we feel in the inner is going to reflect on the outer, whether you're conscious, aware of it or not. Just begin to put your mind and your brain in a place of being aware of you. Like you have to face the facts. You have to face yourself. You know, I have encountered so many people who I would try to like help, you know, or give guidance in a way. And my point is, like, no matter what I would say to them or any advice I would give them, it did not go far unless they made the conscious decision to go along with that, you know. So please take this advice, take it as you will, and genuinely use it. Like, please use it, because it's real, y'all. It is real, okay? The world is not gonna fake it to you, and it will play out in reality. When I got tired of seeing just horrible results, I had to look at myself and be honest with myself and really dig into the deepest parts of myself and just face it. Like, I had to face my shadow, and I have been doing it for a really long time, which is how I got to where I am now as a person. You know, I have grown so much because of how judgmental I was on myself, like in the best way possible. Like, you can judge yourself and use it for your benefit. You know, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, sometimes I am my biggest hater, but it's for my benefit. Like, if I don't like the results that I'm getting, then I know that it's in me, because again, reality is just reflecting what I am and what we are. So if you don't like something, look in the mirror, look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I getting these results? Like, what am I showcasing? How am I attracting this? Because obviously there's something in you that is attracting it. When I stopped seeing myself as darkness and blah, and I started seeing myself as a beautiful, magnetic, confident, glowing woman, I became that. Simple as that, because I embodied it. Not only was I embodying that, but I also felt it to the core in my being. I've done journal work about it. I've done inner work about it. I've done mirror work about it, okay? I looked in the mirror and I faced myself. And you know what? As soon as I accepted that that was my reality, that I am magnetic and I am beautiful and I am confident and I am capable and able of having whatever it is that I desire, the world had no choice but to reflect that back to me. I want y'all to sit in a mirror and really ask yourself these questions and journal. Journal at the same time if you need to. Write it down so you can see what it is that you've been feeling. Or just be honest with yourself. Talk to yourself. I talk to myself and I have no shame. Because if I didn't have a relationship with myself and I was just so invested in everyone else, I would not be the person I am today. Okay? Okay. When it comes to mirror work, something that I did to become more beautiful was sit in the mirror for hours and look at myself, despite what other people said. Because my whole life, I had people say that I was conceited or whatever, but it's just because I knew that I would blossom like a flower or a rose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew I would become beautiful, and if not, I would become more and more beautiful. Makeup is literally cosmic. Sitting in the mirror, experimenting with makeup, and having fun with it has gotten me so far in my beauty and glamour magic journey. Makeup is very spiritual to me, and I feel like it is very sacred, because again, you're sitting in a mirror staring at yourself for God knows how long. I have spent hours over time in the mirror just working on my makeup, really looking at myself and really thinking things about myself that I know are positive, and just experimenting with what looks good and what looks better, you know, switching up hairstyles, doing new things. So I also feel like knowing who you want to be can go very far with the mirror work and the inner work and all these things. Like, know what your dream self looks like and do your best to become her, him, them, whoever it is. But yeah, just imagine them and imagine, like, what do they wear? You know, what colors do they like? What's their signature hairstyle? Do they have a signature hairstyle? Do they have a signature makeup look? Do they do different makeup looks? You know, like, you're not going to figure these things out unless you take the time out to do them. And all of this also ties into affirmations, guys. Affirmations. I want you to affirm to yourself exactly what it is that you want. I am worthy of what it is that I want. I'm worthy of what I desire. You know, I am worthy of goddess, princess, beautiful treatment. Okay, I tell myself these things all the time. And I carry it with myself. Like, in a way, I'm kind of cocky sometimes because that's just who I am. That's who I want to be, and that's what I want. So I'm going to get what I want. Okay? You have to want something so bad for yourself that you're not going to let that little doubtful voice in your brain stop you. And you have to go against, you know, haters in your life, people in your life, even people you may call friends, may be putting thoughts into your head as well. You know, it can even be parents. It could be your mother. It could be your father. Sometimes you just got to learn how to shut them out and shut them off. Okay? Shut out the outside sources that may be telling you you are not worthy and you are not valuable. You just have to learn how to energetically protect yourself from these things. Because let me tell you, especially as a beautiful woman, I have encountered jealousy and just all sorts of crazy things like you guys couldn't imagine just for being me. And it came from people who knew who I used to be and that knew what I have been through and have seen me at a dark time. So I'm like, wow, like, you see me at a dark time and took advantage of me then and got in my head then. It was jealous of me then. So you knew I had potential, huh? So watch out for that, y'all. Okay, watch out. Another thing that I love is subliminals. Okay, I could yap about subliminals all day and all night. And they tie into affirmations. You can play them at night. You can play them in the day. If you do not know what affirmations are, they are audios designed to target your subconscious mind. If you do not know what the subconscious mind is, it is literally the part of our mind that controls over or about 95% of our thoughts, which are actually unconscious. Okay? Because it turns out we are only using 5% of our brain consciously. So you have the subconscious mind, which is the unconscious, and our conscious mind, which is 5%. So can you imagine if you're listening to audios that are designed for everything you desire, that are targeting the part of your brain that controls 95% of your thoughts, which controls your reality and your results? Okay? That's all I'm gonna say about subliminals. And I'm also going to say, please check out my subliminals, okay? Not only do I have subliminals on my channel, but I also offer paid subliminals, okay? I have a princess treatment subliminal. I have a love spell subliminal. And I have a free money subliminal on my page and a few other ones as well. But just please make sure y'all click the link in my bio to check out my subliminals, okay? My best advice to you guys is just know who you want to be and begin to mentally take steps towards that person, and the external will follow. Okay, I promise you, every time. And not only does it work with appearance, work, you know, like glamour, magic, and things of that sort, it works for everything in general. Say if you want to be rich and you want to have a business, okay, you start writing down, I want to have a business. Write it down every day, write it down multiple times a day, and I promise you, your mind and God will come together and fill in the blanks for you. Then you'll start to know what business it is you want. Then you'll start to see the steps that you need to take to get there. Okay, you can transform your life completely, every aspect of it, just doing inner work and just doing these things. I have done it. And I'm not even fully where I want to be yet, y'all. Like, that's the craziest part about it. Like, I just can't wait for the future, and I can't wait for what is to come. Make sure y'all check out my How to Manifest guide as well if you're new to manifestation or you want to hear more about my story. It also comes with a 10 ways to manifest whatever it is, even if manifesting does not work for you or has not worked for you. Make sure y'all check that out. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. I do want to make more talking videos along with my subliminals, so please let me know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for every purchase, every like, every comment. I love and appreciate you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. You don't even understand. Just you watching this, whoever is watching up until now, you are my manifestation. Like, I manifested you to be here, okay? I manifested all these views, all these followers, all these subscribers, comments, likes, everything, you name it, by doing inner work. And it's crazy to see in real time. And I just want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Sending you all love, wealth, health, success, and happiness, okay? I wish you guys the best. Sending you love and light. Bye.